Let's turn to Bill Melugin, who is live in Los Angeles with the latest. Bill.
Well, Emily, it's really rare for an ICE agent to have to fire their weapon on the job, but it did happen yesterday after ICE says 2 illegal aliens tried to run over their agents with their vehicle while they were trying to arrest them. So this all happened in Colorado Springs after agents from ICE's Denver field office reportedly targeted illegal aliens at a construction site. Now, after the attempted vehicle ramming, ICE says one of their agents shot at those aliens in self-defense, but they escaped in a vehicle which they later abandoned, and they are now officially on the run, with a manhunt underway for them as we speak. ICE says, as you mentioned, thankfully there were no injuries, and they add in part, quote, 2 criminal aliens attempted to ram their vehicle into ICE officers during a targeted enforcement operation in Colorado Springs, July 31st. As a result of their violent actions and to protect the officers and agents on site, an officer fired 3 shots into the vehicle. The aliens fled and later abandoned the vehicle. Law enforcement officials are currently searching for the fugitives. Now, the nearby area was placed on a brief shelter-in-place order during the manhunt, with one local resident saying he does support immigration, but only if it's illegal.
I'm not against immigration when it's done legally. You know, welcome people to come here to bring their skills, talents, and find the opportunities here, but you got to do it the right way.
And again, this number just keeps going up, but ICE reports that assaults against their agents are now up a staggering 830% over the same time period last year. And the agency says that's all because of this constant rhetoric we're hearing from politicians demonizing ICE every single day, sometimes calling them Nazis, Gestapo, kidnappers, terrorists. They say sometimes that translates into attempted violence like we saw in this incident. We'll send it back to you.
Bill, thank you. I want to start with you, Laura, because you've had so many interviews with these ICE agents and law enforcement. Talk to us about what they're sharing.
Yeah, well, listen, you heard 830% increase in assaults on ICE agents, and we have never been in a place like this. That's what they say. They've never felt, the hatred towards them that they are currently feeling right now. Now, they say nothing will stop them. This is what all of these guys say. They're out there to do a job. They're proud of the job that they do. And as you just heard from that gentleman there, the local resident, we want immigrants in this country, but you have to do it the right way. That's the whole point of all of this. We can't just have a porous open border to allow criminals to come in. These, when they're going out, when the ICE agents are going out, they're actually seeking out criminal, illegal aliens. These are people who also, in addition to having broken our laws to come here, have a rap sheet. They have, they're rapists, they're murderers, they have crime in their background. These are the people we're trying to get off of our streets and get them out of our country.
And I want to focus on that for a moment, Kennedy, because of the concentration that Laura is describing. So we know, we can put it up on the screen, that the Border Patrol has reported record lows in terms of encounters at the border. But now you couple that with the 830% increase in ambush attacks on ICE agents in the country. That goes to show the tenor of these illegal immigrants that ICE agents are focusing on to try to remove.
Well, that's what happens when you don't have a vetting process and you don't really push Congress to come up with some better solutions to the immigration problems that we saw that really metastasized during the Biden administration. So what happens is it's all comers. Anyone who wants to get inside the country can, and the people who really shouldn't be here are the ones who are going to be so desperate to stay, and that desperation will lend itself to violence. So now, obviously, you are shifting from border apprehensions to finding people in communities, and the president and the administration has said that they are focusing on the most violent criminals. Obviously, the kind of violent criminals who would try and ram their vehicle into ICE agents. So they will capture them, they will find them, they will be prosecuted, and I have a feeling they're not going to get $1,000 and a one-way ticket back to wherever the hell they're from, when they're probably going to be charged federally with attempted murder. And that's not going to end well. That doesn't allow you to realize the American dream, oddly enough. But I'm sure they were at a father's picnic where just a bunch of great dads were getting together, sharing stories and dad jokes.
Right. Arthel, Kennedy is talking about that narrative that keeps being pushed, especially by the legacy media. But we have here a shot, let's play it in a moment, of Maureen Jo Scarborough, who is admitting that the border is secure, but claiming that Trump is trying to keep up with Biden on those deportations that we need. Let's take a watch.
You have, in one instance, a southern border, which Donald Trump promised he would secure. You wouldn't have the number of migrants crossing every day that you had during the Biden administration. That certainly is the case. I mean, the southern border is as secure as it's been in 60 years. On the other side of that, Joe Biden was able to deport a larger number of people who came here illegally because there were so many more near the southern border. Now that's not the case. So you have the Trump administration, on one hand, wanting to be able to celebrate basically, for the most part, quiet southern border. But to keep up with the numbers of Biden, to keep up with the numbers of Obama, they're having to go into neighborhoods.
I feel like I just canceled out my coffee, and I'm sorry for making you be subjected to that. But the point he was making was what we said, right? That Trump is apparently trying to keep up with Biden on deportations, but that also underscores the sort of delusion that many have when they say that Trump is deporting everyone, when really he's far behind Obama and Biden in numbers.
Well, first of all, I don't think President Trump bothers to keep up with anybody. He does what he wants to do, and his record stands for his record, period. But I will say this, and when you're the president, he ran and won on deporting criminal illegal aliens. And of course, when you have a big ticket item like that, a to-do list, if you will, there will be pressure to get the job done. Now, I do wonder sometimes, though, in terms of executing on the delivery of that promise, should there be some adjustments made because you want to make sure that the ICE agents remain safe, as well as the communities in which they're conducting those raids?
Right. And David, I want to close with you on this. That's a perfect segue, which is that we know that Michigan lawmakers have proposed legislation to criminalize any agents that are wearing masks during the course of their duties, right, accepting illness or whatever. It kills me.
Well, you know what kills me, and again, forgive those folks who hate New York so much they don't want to hear about New York City, but Mamdani, who is one of the biggest promoters of ripping the masks off of the face of ICE agents, guess what? He just had his $1 million wedding in Africa, and he had 20 hired guns with masks on to protect the people. It's the hypocrisy of this whole thing. And again, who's suffering the most from the horror of a lot of the crime that's going on in the country that is being attacked directly by the current administration, but which is hampered by all of these legacies, not only the legacies of the open border, but the legacies of prosecutors who are very pro-criminals, the legacy of all of these new laws that have come on, the no bail laws and everything that give them breaks. And now you have the added impetus of all these judges around the country that are interfering with the attempts to get rid of the worst criminals. So you have all these elements that have to be tackled. The administration is trying as best as it can. They're doing a lot to modify some of the craziness that we've seen, but there's so much that they're going against, and they continue to be aided and abetted by the politicians on the left who have nothing else to do but attack the Trump administration, even if what they're doing is going to lead to less crime and less U.S. citizens being harmed by not only the foreign criminals, but by the ones that were born here.
And you're right, it is aiding and abetting. It is truly obstructing what good strides this administration is making as the mandate of the people that Arthur said. Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.